Good morning, students. All of you sit in prayerful posture. Lord of all power and might, give us wisdom and understanding today. Let us grow in knowledge and bear fruit in active goodness. Strengthen us with ample power to meet whatever comes with fortitude, patience, and joy, and to give thanks to you in all things. Amen. Students, before we begin today's chapter, let me ask you few questions. All of you know that in Jammu, plastic is banned, but still some people are using. Plastic is cheap, but the ecological cost is high. Can you tell me, is it worth taking the risk? Raise your hands. Right answer. Yes, Arshdeep, it is harmful for us. Dear students, our today's topic is Love Me, I Belong to You. You will come to know about the Bishnoi community in Rajasthan who worship the trees. They have taken steps to protect the environment. The Bishnoi community in Rajasthan considered all things as sacred. They worshipped the trees in their forests. Once, the king of that place needed wood for some buildings. He sent some men to cut the trees in the place where the Bishnois lived. The men had gone to work. When the women found that their sacred trees were to be cut, they pleaded with the woodcutter men to spare the trees. But the woodcutter men would not listen to them. Why? Because it was the order of the king. Hence, they decided to protect the trees with their lives. They put their arms around the trees and dared the men to cut them. Unfortunately, the men decided to go ahead, and this resulted in the death of the woman. When the king came to know of this, he was sad, and he decreed that no tree should be cut from the forest close to the Bishnoi village. And still they are doing this. Movements in India to protect the environment. There are similar instances when women have protected the trees by hugging them. The women in Uttarakhand, in Uttaranchal, hugged the trees to save them from greedy contractors. The name given to this way of hugging trees is Chipko in Uttaranchal and Apiko in Karnataka. Another important movement in Narmada Bachao Andolan. Several dams were planned to be constructed on the river Narmada. The Sardar Sarovar Dam on the river Narmada in western Madhya Pradesh threatened to displace thousands of tribals. Baba Amte decided to spend the last days of his life on the banks of Narmada to protect the tribals. Medha Patkar is also fighting on behalf of the tribals who have been displaced because of the Sardar Sarovar Dam. She adopted the slogan कोई नहीं हटेगा बांध नहीं बनेगा means not one will move the dam will not be made. The movement is described as satyagraha, an act of non-violent disobedience with truth on its side. Water harvesting is a method of developed in Dakshina Kannada. Dakshina Kannada, which annually loses an estimated 40 tons a hectare of topsoil each year during the monsoon, has succeeded in arresting it in many hilly areas through watershed development and afforestation programs. The Zilla Panchayat has identified 12 watershed areas and divided them into 70 sub-watershed areas and 1,114 minor watershed areas. After 5 years, the hard work is bearing fruit as the foothills of the Western Ghats have turned into pastures sustained by perennial water sources. Government action. Wildlife Protection Act of 1972 was passed to protect our flora and fauna. Commercial felling of trees and exploitation of all fauna is banned in sanctuaries and national parks. Hunting includes killing, capturing, poisoning, snaring, and trapping of wild animals and damage to eggs of birds and reptiles and even disturbing them. What ordinary people are doing. Babu Kadka was a former dacoit from Lothiya. He was also addicted to alcohol. After listening to Sadhu Narayana Swami, he changed his life. The Sadhu advised him to take care of trees as an act of penance. Babu had no family of his own except his mother, so he began building a family of trees. He planted saplings and carried water over long distances to water them. People began to join him, realizing that by planting trees they could restore ecological balance. Children began to imitate the elders in planting saplings around their homes and school. As a result, more than 2,000 trees, including banyan, almond, and pomegranate trees, dot the landscape. It is better to grow trees on our own than wait for the government to do it, says a villager of Lothiya. Dear students, do you want to ask anything? Raise your hands. Any doubt to be clarified? ठीक है, एक साधु के कहने पर इस डाकू की जो जिंदगी है वो परिवर्तित हो गई, क्योंकि साधु ने इसे बोला था कि तुम्हारी जो सबसे बड़ी तपस्या क्या होगी। पेनेंस का मीनिंग होता है तपस्या, ठीक है, कि तुम्हारी सबसे बड़ी तपस्या क्या होगी कि तुम जो पेड़ पौधे हैं उनकी देखभाल करो। तो इस डाकू ने जो ट्रीज थे उन मतलब कि उनकी एक फैमिली जो है, एक किस्म का परिवार जो है, जैसे लोग परिवार की देखभाल करते हैं वैसे ही इस डाकू ने जो पेड़ पौधे थे उनकी एक परिवार की तरह देखभाल की। ठीक है। Dharapathy Ramaiya urges children, housewives, and officers alike to plant trees for a pollution free world. Loaded with bags of saplings and slogans, He cycles around Khammam district, Andhra Pradesh by 1997. He had spoken to 300 schools, 170 offices, 162 temples on the need to conserve the environment by planting trees. Ramaiah has planted all sorts of trees on his 7-acre land. He has planted 70,000 saplings and wants to make it 1 crore before he dies. He presents saplings as wedding gifts. He remembers that his teacher had taught him that trees give us oxygen, shade, and fruits if we give them a little water. Students, as all of you know that trees give us oxygen. By our small contribution, we can get many things from the trees. So, if we plant sapling, if we water the saplings, we can get so many things from the trees. Timmakka is another great person who worked for the protection of trees. She did not have children, so she planted trees on the roadside, watered them, and protected them like her own children. Now, what is the students' involvement? Tarumitra. It is a forum made by the students for environment in Patna. Tying a rakhi round a tree, that is what the Tarumitra or friends of the trees do. Tarumitra is a students' movement which started in Patna in 1988. It has now spread across hundreds of high schools and colleges in India. Tarumitra aims at equipping students with skills in handling local environmental problems. Tarumitra has transformed a dozen garbage dumps into beautiful roadside gardens. Each member school adopts such a garden. The students clean the site, work on the soil, and plant seeds, flowering plants, and trees. Summer work camps are conducted to provide experience in methods of water conservation, green journalism, plant nursery, and tree planting. A cycle rally of hundreds of school children from Delhi was organized on Earth Day to highlight the growing problem of air pollution in Indian cities. We want clean air was their demand. International environmental groups. Many international environmental groups are actively involved in the protection of environment. Greenpeace Society. Prevention of dumping radioactive waste into the sea, protection of wildlife, protection of whales, seals, etc. World Wildlife Fund. Protection of natural habitat for wildlife. Man and Biosphere Program. Preservation of natural habitats. Now, quiet time. The women of Bishnoi community gave up their life to protect the trees. The farmer dacoit became a protector of the environment. An illiterate women created an avenue of trees along the public road. Tarumitra, a students' forum, has come forward to protect the environment. We too have a responsibility to protect our environment. Prevention is better than cure. Usha. Monsoon means mosquitoes, and mosquitoes means malaria. Kill them, flit them, spray them, get rid of them. Use coils, mat, and what not, Asha. But aren't all these insecticides poisonous to us, and don't they pollute the environment? Usha. But how do we get rid of the mosquitoes? Asha. Take care of the environment and the mosquitoes will stop breeding. Prevention is better than cure. Do not let water collect in drains, coconut shells, tins, plastics, etc. Look after your environment and it will take care of you. Something to do, as you are already told to keep pencils with you. So tick off A or B as it expresses your habitat. First is I come to school in a car or scooter. B. I take the city bus, school bus, cycle or walk to school. Now this year you are attending the online classes, but keep in mind how you come to school. You have to write tick A or B. Next is I forget to switch off fans and lights when I leave the classroom. I save electricity by checking that all the lights and fans are switched off. This is about the school, about your classroom, but at home also you should check. Third is I burn or put in the garbage bin books, magazines and papers at the end of the year. B. I stitch and reuse the blank papers, sell the remaining paper for recycling or to the vendors to be used as paper bags in place of plastic bags. Fourth is A. I use plastic or thermocol cups, plates, etc. in the school canteen. B. I use reusable cups, plates, etc. As you don't have school canteen, so this does not apply to you. I leave the taps open through carelessness. B is I make sure that the drinking water and toilet taps are closed after use. Next is A. I allow the rainwater to flow down the drain. B. I collect rainwater and use it. Next, A. I use chemical fertilizers for our gardens and throw the organic waste on the roadside. B. I recycle the garbage by preparing compost pits for organic waste and use the manure for plants. Next, A. I cut trees recklessly. B. I help to plant trees in the school and on the roadside. Next, A. I am careless about the pollution around me. B. I want to belong to an eco club in our school to make myself aware of what is happening to our environment and the steps we need to take to protect it. There is some vacant land which belongs to your school or your family. Here are some ways of making good use of it. You can also apply. Plant trees so that there is shade and pure air. Plant vegetables because fresh vegetables are better than those brought from the market. Grow flowering plants in order to provide beauty. Have a small nature reserve. Plan a Van Mahotsava in the school. Involve students of other classes. Dear students, you have to remember, look after the environment and the environment will take care of you. Nature takes care of us only if we take care of nature. Waste not, want not. You cannot get back what you have wasted. Any doubt to be clarified? Yes, students. I am getting the messages. No, ma'am. So, shall we end the class? Time is getting over. Okay. Bye, students.